From the morning alarm to the final page, Day 5 was a non-stop sprint. This is what discipline looks like.
What's the limit of a human mind? I think I found it today. Between a brutal math chapter, a new LeetCode problem, and a lecture, my brain is fried. Day 5 was a mental marathon. Let's see if I made it to the finish line. First up, I tackled the pending data structures and algorithms lecture. The topic, circular linked lists. The professor covered the fundamentals, what they are, how they differ from linear linked lists, where the last node's next pointer is null, and how in a circular list, that last node's pointer loops back and points directly to the head. This structure is perfect for practical applications like a round-robin task scheduler or a music playlist on repeat. He then dove into the core operations, which is where the real complexity lies. For iteration, you can't just check for a null pointer to stop. You have to start at the head, traverse, and keep going until your pointer comes all the way back to the head again. A do-while loop is perfect for this, as it guarantees the loop body runs at least once, even if there's only one node. Insertion and deletion were the main focus. He explained that to delete a node at the end, you must traverse from the head all the way to the second-to-last node, update its next pointer to point to the head, and then free the old last node. He also covered the edge cases, which are critical. What happens if the list is empty? Or what if there's only one node in the list? In that single node case, the node's next pointer just points to itself. Deleting that node means you have to remember to set the head pointer back to null. After grasping the theory, I moved to my own terminal, implemented the code for insertion, deletion, and traversal, and ran it. It worked perfectly. One more data structure understood. Next, it was time for my daily Duolingo practice. I opened the app, locked in my 289-day streak, and claimed my XP boost. Today's focus was German. I practiced the names of countries like Sweden, Poland, Österreich, Austria, Die Türkei, Turkey, and Russland, Russia. I also learned key vocabulary like nicht, not, schlecht, bad, toll, great, einfach, easy, and schwierig, difficult. Even practiced forming sentences, like asking, wie viele Sprachen sprichst du? How many languages do you speak? To finish, I crushed the Mad Madness Challenge, climbed the leaderboard, completed all 3 daily quests, and secured my October badge. With my language practice done, I moved to LeetCode, aiming for 2 questions. First up was an easy, but tricky, problem about sorting an array. The logic involved finding the adjacent pair with the minimum sum, replacing them with that sum, and repeating this operation until the array was sorted. I got stuck for a bit, but after checking my logic, I realized it was a simple indentation error. A quick fix and submitted. The second question was a medium, design browser history. This was a perfect application of linked lists. The real challenge was handling edge cases. What if the user is on page 7 and tries to go back 9 steps? You have to land on page 1. What if they're on page 5, visit a new page, and then try to go forward? The old forward history needs to be cleared. It was a great problem for reinforcing list manipulation. Got that one submitted too. Target complete. It was time for my trading session. I had to start by buying a new $5,000 challenge account, as I unfortunately blew my last one. After checking Forex Factory and seeing a clear calendar, I went to the charts. I saw potential setups in both Euro to US dollar and gold, but I went with gold, XAU/USD. My analysis pointed to a short. The Asian session showed clear signs of manipulation and a reversal, and the price action was breaking minor structures to the downside. I identified liquidity at the lows and entered the trade. At first, it moved in my direction. I was waiting for it to hit either my take profit or my stop loss. It wasn't my day. It consolidated, reversed, and hit my stop. It was a $60 loss. I had risked 1%, which was $50, but a bit of volatility and slippage added $10 to the loss. A tough start, but the most important trade is the next one. I shut down the terminal immediately to avoid any temptation to revenge trade. While that trade was active, I started my math practice. I needed to finish the second half of the limits chapter for my quant prep. This section focused on exponential and logarithmic limits. The key is learning to manipulate the expressions to fit standard forms, which simplify the answer to a known identity, like 1 or log A. I took a short break from maths to do my reading. I'm still on Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Hit my target of 10 pages.
So this morning, my girl gets up and she used the toothpaste. She throws it out. I go in the bathroom and use the toothpaste. Ask her where it's at. She says it's a trash can. I go in there and get it. Flatten it out. Start rolling it up real tight. Show her, you got another week of fucking toothpaste in this motherfucker. I don't waste shit. The bread, I use the heels. With the peanut butter, I cut that motherfucker and get all that shit out. Someone asked me one time.
With my tray closed and reading done, I dove back into my quant prep. This was the real building block of the day. I started solving a long list of limits questions. When I got stuck, I'd refer back to the solve examples to figure out the pattern. I marked 4 or 5 especially tricky questions for future review. By the end, I'd covered everything: logarithmic, exponential, finding limits approaching a specific point, and how to simplify indeterminate forms to find a real answer. I also practiced comparing the right-hand limit and left-hand limit. If they don't match, the limit doesn't exist. This session really enhanced my problem-solving skills. With the chapter complete, my next target is differentiation. Once that's done, I'll review both with a full time test. Oh, and of course, I hit the gym. It was a push day, short and intense. The workout was 2 sets of incline chest press, 2 sets of flat bench press, 2 sets of rear delt flies, and 2 sets of lateral raises. A solid session that burned out my chest and shoulders. That was all for day 5. Day 5 is done, but the marathon continues. See you tomorrow.
Day 5 is done, but the marathon continues. See you tomorrow.